Brando says, sorry, Invest, I wasn't cutting you. I just wanted to finish what I was saying so that I don't forget. Brando says, are there any negatives to capitalism? Yes, they are. This is what I say.
Someone always have to be on the bottom.
Right. But not only that, but you see, there are certain things with socialism that I actually do like. So to me, a good system would be mostly capitalism with a bit of socialism. Like, for instance, I do believe that healthcare, if you're a citizen, it should be all right. Like you should have good free healthcare. If you feel like as if it's not good enough and you have the money to pay for privatized healthcare, go right ahead. But it should not only be privatized healthcare, like or capitalist owned healthcare. Then it should be where every citizen, because they are paying taxes, even if they buy a bottle of water, they pay taxes on it, right? They should have healthcare, right? Just like Canada has a nice approach to healthcare, which I don't want to talk too much politics, but people want to take away. But right. But I agree with what Invest says, whereas the merit is important in society. Are there any negativities to capitalism? And Bruce Wayne says, of course, there's negatives, just like in anything else. Would you like to expound on that, Bruce or Invest?
Like I said, you have to have people on the bottom for it to work. But again, the beauty of it is you have to work your way up, just like everyone else. That's why when we grew up with this notion that rich people is evil, it's nonsense. Because they work just as hard as anyone else. It all depends on your mindset and how you approach life. Go ahead, Invest.
I gave the example in previous slides before. Let somebody works at Walmart and the person works in the back that pack the goods from the truck, right? So this person is the lowest on the totem pole. This is a capitalistic system to the highest degree. Okay? What now? You can work in the company and say, oh my God, the CEO is making $450,000 a year, maybe get a $10 million bonus. Okay, fine. Now you go back to incentives again. That person took a risk that many people did not take. That person took a risk, right? Nobody said countless nights. Nobody said the sleepless nights. Nobody said the rejections. Nobody said the risk of capital that person took to create the company.
Exactly.
No, you can say, oh man, it's unfair, right? If you look at it from the grand scheme of things, you're saying, well, this person who's packing the boxes make $10 an hour, just for an arbitrary number, right? Make $10 an hour. But what you have to look in the mirror and say, what value do you have to the marketplace? Does your value determines $10 an hour or $20 an hour?
Exactly.
Bing, 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 bing.
Value that you give to the marketplace. Okay, somebody who can garner $50 an hour will not be working in the back of Walmart packing the boxes. He will not do that. Because why? This person can go to the marketplace and say, hey, maybe I'm an accountant, right? Maybe I am a CPA, maybe I'm something else, and that person will garner more money. So let's say somebody is working in the back and that look at it and say, man, it seems unfair. Two things you can do. There's two approaches.
Exactly.
You can say, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to complain. Or you can say, there's somebody in the same company making $15 an hour. But the person is the cashier. You just work back. What skills can I get?
Exactly.
Here?
Exactly. And that is what we spoke about last week to Invest. If you remember, if you were listening, where I said, making yourself more marketable for the company will make you less dispensable. If you are driving, don't look at your job as, oh, I just drive a truck. Look at the company if you want to stay there, or look at the industry that you're in. See what other skills are rewarded. If it means that you can drive a truck with those heavy gases in it that are flammable, it needs another certificate, go and get that certificate. If it means driving a truck with a forklift gives you another skill set, go and get that certificate. sometimes the company will actually pay for it because they're investing in you as a worker. But guess what? Even if that company burned down tomorrow, guess what? You still have that knowledge. You still have that certificate.
skill. Yep.
You can go to another company and say, listen, at this company, yeah, it failed now, but guess what? I actually have my certificate to drive a forklift. So guess what? You are more valuable to that company because you are 2 in 1. I don't have to hire somebody else to do the forklift and worry about HR, worry about time off, worry about sickness and leave and all that, and payroll. I don't have to work. You are able to do that. So guess what? You're gonna get paid more, and HR would be more open to listening to you because you're worth more. These are facts.
I'm gonna say this is most people.
Mm-hmm.
People, they find it almost repulsive to take a chance on themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't have time for those people.
It seems as if they're so. It's as if what they believe a job is secure more than taking a chance on yourself. And what you don't realize is that a job is one of the most riskiest thing you can ever have. A job. As much as we have to have jobs to survive, it is more risky. Is at any minute the person can tell you have to go. Now some are better than some because you might work for the government like myself, or right in a union where it might be harder for you to get fired, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, a job will never give you what you intrinsically worth, because a job with the money that they pay you, they have to occur 3 to 5 times your wages.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, sorry, no, finish. Yeah, go ahead.
I also have employees myself, right? And I can't give them all the money that I make from the business. I can't, because I have to have running capital as well. And I also have profit for myself too.
But you have to pay them first. Them eat first. Right?
Exactly.
Right, exactly. So that is something too. And that is one of my culture. That is one of my, and that's why the people who work with me stay for so long. And I always say work with me. Because even if you go to an event, make sure that they have a seat. If there's a limited amount of food, and make sure that they eat first. And they see that and they recognize and they say, Miss Julia, man, you really take care of us. You know what that does? I can call them anytime. They're very loyal to me. People are very, very loyal to me. You know why? Because I actually treat them well. And they actually respect it. And lucky for me, they have had bosses that treated them like crap. They have had bosses who had them standing up at an event for 4 hours behind a table. Why can't they have a chair and you trust them that when somebody comes to the table, they get up? You can't trust people. These are adults. Just let them know that when a customer comes to the table, you stand and speak with them because they're standing. Because it's just manners. And if you tell them that, listen, I'm giving you this chair for your comfort and because I care about you and I care about your energy, they will respect that. And as soon as a customer come up, they stand up. And you see what I mean? So you can't treat people poorly and expect great results. It's the same thing, right? Now, I tell you, I'll go a step further from what you said, invest. And this is why it's important when it comes to children and putting them in sports and exposing them to different things. Now, I understand that, of course, a lot of us, how we grew up, our parents may not have been able to afford certain things, or we were not exposed to certain things. That's fine, but take responsibility for your life and actually find what you're good at. When the pandemic happened, right? And we didn't know how long it was going to be. And a lot of my friends in the events, right, they were freaking out. They're like, Julia, why aren't you freaking out? It's like, I'm freaking out. I mean, I never make people say I'm freaking out, but I have this security where I've always said it, and I really believe it, and I know it. Not even believe it, I know it to be true. I'm one of the most talented people I know, so I'll never be broke. Even if it means that I'm writing for somebody, even if it means that I start to sell the jewelry that I make, right? Because I've invested in myself to learn how to actually develop that talent that I have as a writer into a skill as copywriter. And I invested in myself in the artsy way of being able to know how to not just use stones for spiritual practices and what I love to look at, but I actually make jewelry out of them. I know that I can write anything. So I have that security, whereas even if anything goes belly up, I know that I have invested enough in my talents and skills that I will never go broke. There's always going to be something that I'm good at that I can learn. And not only that, even if, say, not even those, there's always, I have full confidence in myself that I can learn what I need to learn to succeed in whatever area I need to succeed in, even if it means that I have to go and drive trucks. I have full confidence in myself that I will be able to learn to be the best truck driver. Why? Because I have had experience with myself where I have had to learn things. And I only got that from being able and giving myself the chance by investing in myself. You see what I'm saying? The more you learn, Bruce Wayne and invest and everybody on the playback, the more you learn is the more confidence you have in yourself of being able to learn. There's a lot of people that don't have the confidence to learn something. They'll say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. And they haven't given themselves the chance. You know why? Because they have not created that pattern of giving themselves the chance to learn something. So the more you read, the more you try, the more you learn something and say, yes, I got it. Oh, I learned that, right? Is the more confidence you have in yourself to be able to learn. That's why I say, like, even if Canada burned down, wherever I go, I'll get along. Because I've lived in different countries. I lived in different states. You see what I'm saying? When I went to the states, I made sure that I visited every state except for Minnesota, right? And actually look at the culture, look at the people, and I got along with people there. So I know, and even in Europe, etc., I know that no matter where I go, if the aliens come and pick me up and drop me in an island somewhere where there's people, I know I will get along because I've had that experience with myself. And this is what I was telling that 20-year-old that I was talking to. I said, yeah, because he was telling me, oh, I want to travel and I don't have the money and I want to do this. And people said that, the 20s, I'm supposed to travel, but I don't have any money. I said, that's fine, but you can travel inwards. You can actually read, right? If you're temporarily unable to travel now, there are other things. What else can you do? Instead of you worrying so much about experiencing the world, how much have you spent on experiencing yourself? And he said to me, Miss Julia, I never thought about that. I said, exactly. I said, the other day you tell me that you start piano. How is that going? He's like, I stopped that. I give up. I said, it's been like 4 weeks. He's like, yeah. I said, you know why? Because you don't like hearing your mistakes. That is what piano does. You can't hide your mistake because you hear it and it sounds off, right? I said, you have not given yourself the experience of pushing through to success, because for a whole year before, from I know your mother, actually 2-3 years, you've been saying that you want to learn the piano because you love the piano so much. And now you just try. Your mother buy you a keyboard, you go into piano lessons, and after 4 weeks you quit. Even if you realize that you don't like it, 4 weeks is not enough experience with yourself, right? It's not enough. So right now, and this is what I explained to him, I said, right now, you know what the experience you have with yourself is? And he says, what? I said, think about it. I said, the experience that you have with yourself right now is that you failed piano and you gave up after 4 weeks. That's the experience that you have with yourself. And he said, Miss Julia, I don't think about it like that. I didn't think about it like that. I said, listen, that's the problem. Everything is self. You have to think about your experience, your reputation with yourself, because you are the most important relationship that you will ever have. People will come and go. You are staying with you till the end, right? So that is the experience you have with yourself. You are now here complaining to me, telling me that you want to travel, you want to this, you want to that, but you have not had enough experience with yourself as being a success at anything. You need to change that. So when I put it in perspective that way for him, you could see that his mind started thinking. His mind was like, okay, I get. Sometimes people just need a little bit of insight, right? And that's why I love speaking to people who want that drive so much. You see what I mean? So yeah, I'm auntie to a lot of people. Apparently, a lot of my friends, I'm auntie to them. But you see what I mean, Bruce Wayne and invest.
Yeah, yeah.
Only when you start to learn and when you give yourself a chance, then you'll have the confidence to know that, you know what, I'll survive. I don't care where them put me or among who. I know that I get along with people. I know that people like my vibration. Of course, they're going to be haters, but I trust enough to know that wherever I go, I will not only survive, but I will thrive. These are facts. You see what I mean? Invest and Bruce Wayne?
Yeah. That's
Uh,
why working well with others is an important factor as well in life. That's why I learned that as
Mm-hmm.
much as we disagree about our school system, it teaches a lot of valuable lessons. When you have to be able to partner up or team up or work with people who we don't necessarily like,
Right.
that things carry us over throughout life. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be in jobs where you don't want to be there. You're surrounded by people who you don't want to be around, but yet still, you still have to work with these people to get a certain task done to all meet a
That's
common
right.
goal.
Mm.
So those things are important. Another thing I want to say is that a lot of us have this bad mentality of only
Mm-hmm.
wanting to do things when we feel like it. And if you ever want to attain any kind of wealth, you have to cut that out
That's
because
a loser mentality.
absolutely
Mm-hmm.
the people who create innovation, create things that help us through our daily lives and stuff that we use, whether it's stores, products, or service, they all have to make a sacrifice. They all had to go through a period of time when they don't want to do certain thing, but they did it anyway in order for us to be able to enjoy it or be able to utilize such product or service. And you see,
Exactly.
because we have this mentality of, oh, we only want to do things what we like or what we're comfortable with, we're not going to reach very far. I learned that wealthy people, they don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily put their children through sports or anything like that. They put them through stuff like piano lessons or violin lessons, things of that nature, for the simple fact that they're teaching them to be able to go through things that they don't necessarily want to do, but get still they still have to get it done. And with that frame of work, it helped them carry it over as when they get in later on in life, they do things that they're uncomfortable with, but yet still because they instill that from young, they have the mindset to get it done regardless.
Yeah, but wealthy people put their children in sports just for that reason, actually. Because not only you want to see what your children are good at, but it actually builds character and working with people. So I know wealthy people, but they put them in different sports. That's why hockey is so expensive. Hockey is a very expensive sport. You can't make middle or lower middle class unless you sacrifice a lot to put, not even lower, you can't make lower middle class money and have your child in hockey. The
Let me tell
care
you,
is expensive.
let me tell you a personal experience I had.
Okay, but let me finish this point. Even with swimming, ice skating, you find a lot of wealthy people who actually have their kids in sports because sports actually teach them that grit. Sports actually teach them to work for something, and sports actually teach them to leadership because a good leader knows when to follow. And sports actually teach them team building and teammate stuff. So I agree with everything that you're saying, but well, the people do put their kids in sports, just different sports. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I was just not trying to just emphasize on just the sports thing, but other
Mhm,
aspects as well. Because
mhm,
yes, sports does teach you all those great qualities to
mhm,
help you uh, build character and stuff like that just throughout life. Sports is a great example of just
mhm.
life overall.
And you know
But
that because you're a sports guy.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
So I
you're a
kind of
sports guy.
I misspoke. Is really they don't
Mhm.
not just they don't put them, but they not just sports. So I misspoke.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. And they
Um,
don't teach them to rely on it. That's right. Yeah.
a personal experience I had, a friend of mine
Hmm.
and his children, two boys or whatnot. And
Hmm.
to be quick, not to be too long winded,
That's okay. Go ahead. Hmm.
he wanted to put his boys through the typical sports that we know as our demographic of people.
Hmm.
So I'm saying, like, yeah, that's cool, but you have to understand, like, even with basketball,
Hmm.
kids who love and enjoy basketball and want to make it to the NBA, it's only 450 jobs in that league
Yeah.
versus thousands and millions of people who's trying to get in. I'm not saying that that you can't do it. No, I would never put limitations on anyone. But what I'm trying to explain to him is that, yeah, that's cool, but there's other avenues as well.
Exactly.
And he tried to downplay what I'm saying, and I'm saying to him like, I think we was talking about schooling, and I'm saying to him like, yo, listen, you can put him in something to learn, even fencing, lacrosse, badminton, and get a scholarship for that and go full ride. His response to me is that I don't want to. I don't remember verbatim, but it was to the nature of, nah, he's not gonna do none of those white sports. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, why limit the child
Right.
to one thing, one or two things? And then when you know that, okay, cool, you can jump in these other avenues, get a scholarship, and then when you get there, then you determine what you want to do. Why limit the child? And it just goes to show, goes back to the mindset of our people and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and
Yeah.
how we're just one track minded. We're very limited thinking and stuff like that, and how it holds us back. Because even growing up, again, back to the money. When we keep hearing, oh, money don't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil, those things permeates a child mental, and he or she grow up thinking that, and then guess what? They have a scarcity mindset when it comes to money and finances,
Exactly.
and it limits their ability to be able to attain or build wealth.
Exactly right. 100%. Yeah, invest. What we were saying before I continue.
Yeah. So I have a daughter. She's 16 years. She's gonna be 16 years old,
Bless her.
and my son, um, he's he's going to be 13. Him can't come tell me why I'm playing on football. Hell no. Him
He what? Say it again. He what?
He's in America, so him can't
Okay.
football.
Oh,
Hear
you
the
mean
thing.
American football?
Hear the thing.
Okay.
We can't major in the minor. The possibility of him joining the NFL is too slim, right?
Yeah.
So, so
But
in
that's
terms,
not minor though, invest, because you know what? American football actually damages young people. They get concussed, and a lot of that contact sport, I wouldn't put my son in it either. So it's different than actual real football, like what we said. So that's why I asked. But go ahead, continue. I'm listening to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
the minority, the minors. What I was talking about is like joining the NFL. Uh,
Yeah.
that- that's that too. Uh, minuscule com- comparative to like a civil engineer that is needed in America with all
Right.
them that stuff.
Right.
Um, you're the thing. Uh, in terms of having getting your children to be disciplined, right? Which is not the only thing. We are looking at it through our lens of, okay, because our culture loves sports. That's where you get that appetite from, because our culture loves sports, right? But like my daughter, I told her mom, I said, you own your own law firm. You're the thing. Every summer, you give internship and you give tasks to do. That
That's
develop,
exactly what it is.
right? I took my son for the summer, and guess what? In America, they want the boy them to be emasculated. I say, hey, listen here, son. Listen this. You gotta learn between tire, okay? Some of these men can't even bore a hole in the wall for put up on curtain.
I know.
Correct.
Believe me, I know.
So when we are talking about discipline, we will not go to the root cause of the problems that we have. The root cause is how we're raising the next generation.
Exactly.
Only
And also too, the example that we set for them too.
Yeah, and not only one thing. Like like even sports. I'm not saying that people not supposed to watch them sports, you know. But let's say you live in America and you're, but you know everything about LeBron James. When breakfast, when watching score, all of them stuff. And LeBron James is driving to the sunset with millions of dollars. So every day I consume this crap. Huh?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how. I just feel funny how people know look into themselves. Them can't they major too much into the mind and would not necessarily help them. I'm not saying that you can't transfer your TV. what's the Super Bowl or whatever, fine. But you leave work, you're the lowest rung of the ladder in your company. You leave work, and the first thing you do when you go home is do what? Turn on the TV. Huh? Turn on the TV. Somebody say one time, ask ask somebody who was poor, say, how much you spend for your TV? And the person said, maybe $100 US or something like that. And the person said, no, I'm gonna ask you again, how much you pay for your TV? How much the TV cost? And he said, I think $800, $600. And said, no, man. Your TV costs you almost $1 million a year. Where you could have made if you didn't watch it.
That's right. That's right. And also, so that is why what my mentor was teaching, as well as the other books that we went through, when it comes to allocating resources, is very important, right? And your resources means your attention, your energy, your cognitive skill, your time, and your money. So we're almost finished, guys. I just want to get through this. So focus on wealth generating assets, investing in multiple income sources. Now, this is another thing too that we're talking about, invest. Relying solely on salary limits financial growth. That's what I was telling people. That's what I tried to explain to people. Listen, try to find some way how you can make some money while you sleep. Because if you tie your income to your time, your income will always be limited, because we only have 24 hours in the day. So wealthy people don't just have one stream of income, right? Look at other streams of income, as well as look at how you can make your money make some money for you. Like, I'm big on residuals, especially for creative stuff, right? I get residuals for, not saying too much, but creative stuff, right? And when people invest in a property or invest in land, if you use it properly, it's generating income. That's another stream of income. So, right, you don't tie your money earning to your hours, pardon me, because you have so many hours in the day, 24 hours, right? So rich people actively invest in income producing assets like businesses, stocks, and real estate, as I said before, to multiply revenue streams, right? This diversification fosters financial stability and exponential wealth building over time, right? So you focus on wealth generating assets. So diversifying your income, that's critical, because single streams can be volatile or limited. Expound on this. So you have single streams. So you have one stream of income. What if you lose a job? What if the company burned down? What if a pandemic happens? Right? Just like I was telling you, I may not make jewelry for sale, but I can. I do it as my spiritual practice and to slow my mind down. But if I wanted to make it an income stream, I could, because I'm that good at it. If I wanted to go back to writing, I could, because I'm that good at it. And my writings will make money while I sleep. So millionaires understand the importance of spreading risk and creating systems that generates money even when they're not actively working. If you write a piece of art, if you write a book, or you write something, and you have it on, selling it on one of those Etsy or one of those public marketplaces, while you're sleeping, somebody in another country could buy like 10 copies. Ding, 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 you wake up, oh, what a pleasant surprise. So grateful. I made such and such in the past 8 hours that I was sleeping. Now I'm going to go to my real job. You see what I'm saying? So when you start looking at your time and your money that way, you'll find it's not hard to actually not spend your time at certain places, especially if they drain your energy, especially if you are not appreciated, because you realize that you see your time more valuable. And it's nothing wrong to the other people that don't respect your time. And tell you why. You never ever take it personally, ever. Because these people, more than likely, they don't respect their own time. I can't expect you to respect my time if you don't respect your time. I'm not trying to change you. And that's why I have boundaries that respect my time. So sometimes you call me, you won't be able to get me. Why? Because I do not disturb. Why? Because I'm in deep work. You may not respect my time. That's fine because you don't respect your own. But guess what? You will not be able to get me because I respect my time. See how that works? So instead of you trying to use energy to change people, you use your energy to put your boundaries in place to protect what deserves your protection. Never ever take it personally when people don't respect your time, because it shows that they don't respect their own time. But what you do is you just limit your time with that person. Now, if there's a meeting and you show that you disrespect my time, I'm going to be upset because I took the time, got dressed, got everything prepared to come, and you are not here or you are not prepared. That's disrespectful to me. If you don't respect your time, at least don't disrespect mine. But you don't argue and you use your grace, and that person never gets that opportunity again. And then they wonder, oh, Miss Julia, I thought we were going to work. I thought you were going to. No, unfortunately, that opportunity has passed because I realized that you don't respect time. You're not going to waste mine. Right? So certain things like that, right? You have to do, but you have to know what your time is worth. The same thing that I was talking about last week, whereas it would take me 3 hours to clean my car, and it would take me $100 to pay the guy to clean it. My time is worth way more than $100. I'll give him the $100 and make him clean the car. Because the 3 hours it would take me, I could be using that to work on my company, do something else that I need to do. I pay him the $100. And guess what? Because this is what he does, it's not going to take him 3 hours, it's going to take him 1 hour. Fair exchange, right? So millionaires understand the importance of spreading risks and creating systems that generate money even when they're not actively working. So this asset focus increases net worth and it increases financial freedom. Almost finished. Let's see how much more we have to go. Okay, to there. End of part 1. All right, let me move through these fast. So invest in businesses, stocks, real estate to generate income streams or work towards it. Avoid dependence on a single income source, like we were saying. Continue education to spot opportunities, be able to spot those opportunities. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their income. Never forget that. Okay? No, you might be temporarily only focusing on your income. That's fine. You can have that mindset shift to where you are focusing on your net worth. You know why? Because when you have that mindset shift, you start using your money to make money. So that's your net worth. You're not just relying on paycheck to paycheck. You know that you had those systems, that discipline in place to save 5% towards an investment. So now that's your net worth, right? Assets create wealth. Salary alone cannot. Okay? Assets create wealth that salary alone cannot. These are facts. Money flows to those who mind their business. That's right. Miss Julia, I have to run in a few. Okay, you know what? If you have to run in a few, is there anything else that you want to say? Let me know what you want to. Let me know anything else that you want to say. Closing. I'm give you the chance. Go ahead, invest. Invest there. Yeah, go ahead and tell us. Since you have to run, I understand. So tell us what you want to say in your closing.
Oh, as per usual, Miss Julia, keep giving us the good work. Keep doing it. Your tribe appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Obviously, wherever two or three are gathered doing anything concerning the utmost improvement, he's in the mix. So he's in the midst to empower you as well and to empower us.
Thank you.
Then,
And share it with your entrepreneur friends. Since you have all your business leader friends, they're the same mindset. So share it if you like with your entrepreneur people.
yeah, I just implore people to just maximize their earning potential. You have untapped potential, skills untapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have deep reservoir of untapped potential that is screaming out for you to is screaming out, is calling your name, say, hey man, I need to exercise.
Yeah.
Continue. So, um I this is not like to to show off or anything, but I came from nothing, like nothing, right?
Yeah.
And, and, it's there for anybody. That's the thing with capitalism, is that there is no cap. You
That's right.
you can take success based off your merit, your skill, to whatever degree you want it, right? You can. And don't limit yourself. Don't let other people's limitation skew your reality, right? Sometimes people, they put their limitation on you, say that, oh, you don't want to start a business, you can't start business. No, don't listen to those type of a people, right?
That's
And
right.
your friends, your sphere of influence are people that are willing to motivate you, elevate you, right? Help you do research, want to invest alongside you as well. And
Right.
just as I always said before, just maximize your earning potential, right?
That's
Just
right.
the best you can. It's better to try and to fail than not to try at all, and
Mm-hmm.
then you live with regret, because fear is temporary, but regret is permanent, right?
100%.
Right.
100%.
That's just my what I have to share.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing with us, Invest.
Say,
Always great to hear you. And please be safe out there because
I appreciate.
you are a good added person. We want you in the world. So be safe out there.
Yes, an election is coming. Who you voting for?
I'll never tell. I'll never tell.
I've already voted, so
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
anyway, best of everybody here.
And
Uh,
thank you for coming.
Yeah, invest. Be safe out there.
Be safe out there. We love to see you.
in the spirit of election, I know if even one person hear this, or they can pass it on to your people. Like, we need to rid ourselves from this diet to PMP, this diet to J.
Yeah, I know.
Rid ourselves from that, right? We need to pay attention to policies, what people are doing for the country. Just look at that and then make informed decision
Mm-hmm.
of that. Not just, oh, my granny and labor, right? I'm a granny and PMP, so I'm going to do that. Like,
Right.
we have to. It's 2025 now, and we don't make that become just a cliche of say, oh, it's 2025, but actually live what that means. It means now we in a technological era right now where everything is at our fingertips, right? We have the resources where we can see what's going on. It's not like back in the days where we only rely upon JVC, right? JIS to give us the information. The information is there where we can see for ourselves and make informed decisions. So, in the spirit of election, let's do that. And just in our day to day lives as well.
Mm,
See, just make informed decision, right?
that's right.
Based off a well thought out process that we can develop for our own self.
That's right. Blessings.
But yeah, big up everybody. Trying big up.
All right.
Much love.
So, Bruce, is there anything else you wanted to say before I continue, or just
Yeah,
continue?
I'm about to go and
Yeah.
tend to my babies and stuff too. So I'm
Oh,
gonna let you
okay.
continue, but I'll be
I tell
listening.
you, one man leaves and the rest of them, everybody just disappears. That's okay though. I understand. You have been very generous with your time, and you've been here, and you always have some really great insights and contribution to the panel. And actually, a couple of my American friends said they really did like both of you gentlemen's reasoning. They really did because I said, yeah, I highlight them because they added so much life, and I couldn't just not highlight the thoughts that you had, and they were really appreciative of your thoughts actually. So and they're men too, so I guess maybe they're, you know, it's,
I appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate
they
that.
did. So is there anything that you want to say, Bruce, that is before you leave your babies, or we're going to stay for a little bit and we're going to should I continue?
As I said, I gotta go feed my babies
Oh, you
because
have to go feed them. Okay, yeah, so what
yeah,
do you want to say? Tell me what you want to say in closing.
In closing, just really truly everything that you set out to do in life, it involves your mindset. So be able to start and nurture your mindset before you set out to do anything. You understand? So, just nurture your mindset, and being comfortable is a drug. Get out your comfort zone if you want to grow. Anything that's
That's
not
right.
growing is stagnant, it's dying. So
That's
life is
right.
about growth, life is about movement. Be the circulation, be the flow that you want to see in your life. You have to be that.
That's
So
right.
yeah, I'll close out with that.
Okay,
But
my
thank you for
dear.
having me, and
Of
thank you for
course.
providing the platform.
And thank you for